What's up YouTube, Cosmo here with another tutorial. This week I'll be showing you 5 tips on Lush Future Bass. We're going to be looking at my song, The Magic Forest. Let's take a little listen to that. Tip number 1. Add pitch bend little ramps at the beginning and the end of your phrases. Notice here I have some ramps going down at the end of every 2 bars. Let's take a little listen to that. There's a reason that Ableton puts pitch bend first, is because they know how important it is. I recommend you getting good with hitting the letter B for your pencil tool, then getting rid of that dot, and don't forget to hold Option and make a curve here sometimes. The last step is checking the pitch bend depth. Tip number 2, sometimes you need a ghost kick, aka a sidechain trigger. The way that I like to do it is sequence my kicks in a drum rack right here, and when I'm done, I can Option drag that up. I can move these notes to the only sample in this drum rack, which is a quick clicky kick drum. Originally saw this on a Kill Paris tutorial a long time ago. The reason that you want to do this sometimes, one of the reasons, is that I want the sidechain effect to happen in my intro while there are no drums playing. The listener will not hear the kick drum, but the sidechain kick trigger signal will go and sidechain my synth group. And you can see here I've even automated the ratio, so I get a light sidechain here. Let's hear it without it. It's a subtle effect there. But then in the drop, I want a heavier sidechain. So I've automated the ratio to increase. The other reason that you might want to use a sidechain trigger is that if you have a long kick drum, like a stomp, it's better to have a quick signal, and that's why it's ideal to have something this quick and clicky. Tip number 3, record your own sampler instruments. I had access to a piano here, my friend Brad's Kawaii piano, so I recorded every note, not every note. See how these 3 samples are named C3? I'm just pitching this one up 2, this one up 1. So basically record every 3 notes or every 5 notes or so. I actually muted the piano string while playing the note to get this muted effect. And instead of going into Contact, I just put them right in the drum rack. This enabled me to have my own sampler instrument that no one else has. So let's hear a little bit of that. So I recommend if you have any weird instruments lying around, try to sample all the notes while you can. There was a period of time where I was buying cheap instruments off of Craigslist, like kalimbas and zithers and such. It's convenient to still have this sampler instrument even while I don't have access to that piano anymore. Also, the technique that I'm using here by holding the string and muting it is just something that I cannot play in real time. Once you create an instrument like this, save it to your library so you don't have to recreate it ever again. Tip number 4 is to automate the feedback on your delays, especially if you have a nice delay like the H delay that emulates a tape delay. That's one of the reasons I love this plugin, is that when you jack up the feedback, it still sounds really cool. So notice right here, I am increasing the feedback, but then I'm shutting it off for a gating effect. Hear that with everything going on. Tip number 5 is get familiar with the Phrygian mode. What that means is I'm in the key of E minor here. Usually in the key of E minor, you've got an F sharp. In this case though, I've lowered the second to be a minor second. That's what Phrygian is. It's a minor scale with a lowered second. One of the very important modes in my opinion. I would say Phrygian and Dorian are the 2 most important modes for me. Let's hear with everything going on. Compare that to the normal chord, a F sharp diminished chord, which is actually a pretty ugly chord sometimes. So you're achieving two things. You're getting a new chord and you're replacing a funny sounding chord. All right, that does it for today. Thanks for tuning in. Please hit subscribe on YouTube if you like these tutorials. I'll put a link to this song and I'll put a link to my Instagram where you can check out more frequent tutorials from me. Peace out, y'all.